Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to today's deck profile. The last video got 200 likes regarding the combo tutorial video. So I figured, I keep up my promise and show you guys now like the deck profile and how the deck will move going forward. So this list is essentially the list that I think uses Prinkids more as an engine rather than going for the Battle Butler combo. I'll show you guys what cards you take out and what cards you put in if you want to incorporate the Battle Butler in it. But without further ado, we're going to get right into this deck profile, guys. So we're going to be playing triple Adamancipator, Analyzer, Researcher, and Seeker. They're like not much to say about these cards. They're like the best. But Researcher is really, really powerful because it synergizes really well with any prank kit monsters because they turn into a meal, which means that you automatically have an extender. You play triple Block Dragon. This is unconventional because most people play 2 or 1, but I think you have to play actually 4 Block Dragon because of the Foolish Burial. Because you have a lot more Earth monsters in the grave now because the Roxy engine or the Prank Kit engine fills your graveyard with at least like 3 additional Earth. So, which means that you actually summon Block Dragon 1 additional time if you choose to, or you hold it for the follow-up. Next, you have triple Doki Doki. This card is a really good normal summon for the deck. Because most of the time, like, yes, you can go normal summon any prank kit, but you actually want to like hit the prank kits off the Adamancipator cards. But Doki is like a decent normal summon. It's like one of the most vulnerable normal summons because if you get Gamut, it really hurts unless you already have the Researcher. Or the Analyzer, because if you get Gamut on Doki, if you have the Analyzer, you can actually special Analyzer. And then keep playing from there. Then I played the one of Dragon Buster Destruction Sword. This card is really good because you have extra resources with the Prank Kit engine and you get an extra free Link 2. That free extra 2 materials can then be converted to a Union carrier instead, which means that you end up on the full board, which is in the last combo video as you saw, like the Appaloosa. You end up with the Appaloosa, IP, Savage, Herald, and then also like a Union carrier equipping. So that's like really, really powerful. And it makes it so that it's more consistent to like do, just like I said before, the way like the prank kid math works is that like anyone's prank kid converts to 2 extra free materials, which is either used for the Appaloosa or for the Union carrier. And then you have the Gigantes. It's a really nice extender search off of Block Dragon, so that's nice. Triple Guardian, you want to hit this card. Normal summon this card is not bad if you have an extender as well. Mecha Phantom Beast O-Line for the Needle Fiber combo, just because it lets you play through more hand traps, whereas if you don't open so well, you can just make the Needle Fiber and then go that route to get access to Raptite. Triple Hat Trigger. So this card, a lot of people either have not been playing or cutting, but I really like it. It's a Earth monster, so it fuels the graveyard for Block Dragon, but more importantly, it's a free special summon that's not actually once per turn. So why this is really, really good is that you can essentially like any one Pranked monsters is like 2 monsters, so you essentially get a hat tricker on top of that. So that's why it's really, really easy to synergize really well, and any Adamancipator card that hit means that you have a hat tricker, but also like if you have any extender plus any normal summon, that's also another hat tricker. So the idea with a hat tricker is that it's a level 4 extender that lets you summon a Gallant Granite, but it's also just a level 4 in general, just to either make Borlo Savage or Dragdite with the Analyzer. Then you have Dropsies, Fansies, and Triple Roxy's. So I think this is the engine do player. This is like the right amount of cards. Dropsies actually comes up. Being a level 2 makes it easier for you to make Herald. Fansies is probably the one you want to hard open. It's actually like one if you hard open, it's not that bad. You can just normal summon and go off. And then you have like the Roxy engine, which is like the card that you want to have in your deck because you want to hit it, so you max it out. With the you max out in the deck because you want to hit it off of the Adamancipators. Also because it's a level 4 Earth Rock monster, meaning you can like it's a level 4, so you can make Gallant Granite with it and then search Block Dragon, which makes you play through like infinity hand traps. So that's why it's really, really good for that. Then you play Triple Adhara. It's a tuner, and it's a Earth monster, so that synergizes really well with Block Dragon. It makes it so that even if if you go summon Adhara, then summon Doki, even if they interrupt Doki, which Doki would get Guardian, by the way, so they're forced to interrupt it, then you can just make Needle Fiber with Adhara and the Doki, which means that you guarantee play through 1 hand trap, or like even if you open up Adhara with any other card, having the fiber as an additional line of play means that you play through an extra hand trap. Then you play Weeping Idol. Weeping Idol is really good because you can search it off Block Dragons, a level 2. That comes up a lot because you want to make Herald as well as your other monsters and another negate. So Weeping Idol is just a really, really nice extender. In terms of hand trap choices, I decided to play triple Nibiru and triple Impermanence. The main reason being that Impermanence is like in the mirror match, Imperm is really good because Guardian cannot negate it, so you want to have Imperm in your deck, and also against the Needle Fiber type decks, Imperm is really, really good against like Auroradon on the summon. And also like Imperm is just really, really good in general because, for example, like a card like Gearsu, which has 2 effects, if you Ash the Gearsu, they can use the second effect and still keep playing, where Imperm just completely shuts it down. Then you have triple Nibiru being a rock monster, but also just because it's like really powerful or like the best hand trap against the Synchro Relic deck. But it also, Nibiru catches so many people off guard sometimes, which is really, really nice. Nibiru is also a card that a card that like can be worked really well in tandem with Impermanence if you hard draw both. Which is not as likely. I think it's a 10% chance to, but if you do, it has really good synergy with each other instead of like Nibiru Ash, for example. And that's pretty much it for the main deck. So as you notice, I've cut some cards that are in the traditional Adamancipator list, such as Unexpected Die. So like essentially like the Prankit engine replaces 5 cards in the deck, which historically has been Unexpected Die, triple Unexpected Die, 1 Angel Trumpeteer, and then 1 Beta. And so instead of playing those cards, I decided to play the Prankit cards. And that's like essentially it. So in terms of the extra deck, I incorporated back Dragdite into the deck, and the reason why is because now that you don't have to make Needle Fiber to get a Water in the Grave anymore for Dragdite. If you hit any Roxys off any of the Adamancipator cards, you automatically have access to Dropsy in your graveyard, which means that like you have a spell trap negate with Dragdite. But Dragdite is a really powerful card in itself, just because that in the grind game, Dragdite being able to bounce all of your opponent's cards and go for game is really, really powerful. And like against like trap decks, Dragdite is a really, really card to like stick on the board. It also has really good synergy with Block Dragon because Block Dragon protects the Dragdite actually from getting destroyed by by card effects. So that just keeps it longer on the field, and it forces you not to use your Dragdite effect on the Lightning Storm. Not that you would anyways, because you would summon most of your monsters in defense mode. But that's just like another interaction that's really, really good to know. You play the 1 Raptite. So Raptite is really, really good now just because you have a wind monster off of Fansies that historically before you would have to like summon the O-line off of Fiber. So essentially what I'm trying to say is that like you don't have to do your combo with Fiber now to make use of these cards. Instead, you can go the Prank Kid route to get... Because the whole reason with Fiber, what's really good is that it got you to a Raptite and a lot of extra monsters to get Appaloosa. But now that if you hit a Prank Kid monster, you basically get Appaloosa. And so you can actually save your Hockey Fibrax for later, for the follow-up, for the grind game. As you saw in the past combo tutorial video from the last video that like... I did all of it without Hockey Fibrax, which is really important, like I said before, for the grind game. Then you play Borreload Savage Dragon. This is really good, being able to like Omni negate anything. The Herald of the Arclight, just as I said before, this card stops the water deck really, really well, unless they hard open something to beat over it, and it's something a deck that you definitely respect. Also, like being an Omni negate is really good against like decks like Striker or like decks that may have Mystic Mine in it. So that's why you want to play like Dragdite, Savage, and Herald, just so that you have like essentially 3 negates to like spells and traps, just so that they can't Mystic Mine you. Then you play Metal Marcher for the Hockey Fibrax combo. The one of Gallant Granite, just so that you can add any Block Dragon from your deck to your hand. And if you already have the block, you can add like a Researcher. The Appaloosa, just because it's the one you usually end on in terms of like negates. The Hockey Fibrax is really good because it lets you play through an extra hand trap if you have any tuner. IP Masquerade, just so that you can link the Block Dragon off during your opponent's turn to gain a lot of value with it, essentially going +6, maybe 7, 8, depending on how many times you summon the Block Dragon back. And that puts up a lot of pressure as well. So then you have like the Nightmare Cerberus. The reason why I play Cerberus over Phoenix is because Cerberus is a Earth monster, and it can like out Nibiru tokens and all the other jazz. Also, it's it's a generic link too. With sometimes you find it really awkward where you actually need Cerberus in your graveyard, or you need to make the Cerberus just so that you can get Earth in the grave, and then having Cerberus being an Earth as well is kind of like necessary for the block dragon. You then have Nightmare Unicorn, which is really, really good as well. Being able to discard one and then shuffle anything back on the field. And then you have the Link Cross for the Hockey 5Rex play. And then this is like the prank kit links you need. That's why like Engine is so good, because it only takes 2 cards out of your extra deck to like incorporate it. You only need Doodlebird and the Meowcat, and that's all it is. And the synergy, as I explained before in the last combo tutorial video, that like Meowcat being a Earth Rock monster, it makes it really, really insane. And then you don't play the target search off of Doodlebird, but if you did, you probably search Pandemonium. And then you play like the Union Carrier, which is, like I said before, really, really good for the Buster Lock. And so a lot of you may be wondering, so how do I incorporate like the Battle Butler engine into the Battle Butler combo? So it's really easy. All you have to do is so it's called Battle Butler. So you would put Battle Butler in, and you take out the Drag Knight probably. And then you would take out you can then take out like either one Imperm or one of the block dragons, so you'll have 3 still, and then just put in the prank kid, the fire one. And then you also want to put in Pandemonium, and then that's how you get like the other variant essentially. This is how it would work. I would probably cut one Imperm, and then probably cut like potentially like a Hat Tricker. You can probably cut like a probably a Hat Tricker, and then just to fill it in. I think you want Block Dragon at 4. It's just like too good of a card not to play. But yeah, this is like essentially like the 2 ways you like can play the deck now with the Prank Kit engine, depending on how you want to play. I personally think the Battle Builder engine is really, really neat, and it's really, really cool, but it's too you just don't Turbo Appaloosa. It's just like a win more in that sense, like you get on an extra like double Raigeki, but it's probably better in the sense that like it's just definitely win more. I think I don't think it's worth it, but it is something that you can play if you want to. The other thing that you can potentially think about now is that because you're not playing Unexpected Die, you can actually play 1 Sekka's Light and 1 Foolish Burial. And so like what I mean by that is you can take out the 1 Pandemonium, put in back the Hat Tricker, put in back the Imperm, take out the Fire, take this out and put in back the Dragdite. And then what you would do is you would actually cut all the impermanents and put in Veilers, just because I think that hand trap is really, really good. And then put in double Veiler, and then put in 1 Sekka's Light. And so just because Sekka is at 1, if Sekka's run at 1, the block dragon deck would be just too insane in my opinion. But this is also something to consider as well. Yes, it could conflict with Foolish Burial, but that's why it's literally like you play 2 ofs, and if you hard draw Foolish Burial or hard draw Sekko's, it's like really unlikely to draw both in the same hand, especially when you play 1-1 of both. So like I would literally do this, take these out, keep Foolish Burial in, and then just add double Veiler, and that's it. That's like just insane. Just like extra like an ability to draw 2 extra cards for free is just like the nuts. But that's pretty much it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile, and yeah, guys, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, as well as follow me on my Twitch, which is at twitch.tv/pack_official_TCG. I stream content like this all the time, and I'd love to see you guys there, as well as to get you guys know a little bit better. But anyway, guys, thank you so much again, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.